Hi guys, and welcome to the channel again. So yes, shout out to the new subscribers. I see the numbers are going up, and shout out to everybody that always likes the videos when I post. You guys are fantastic, and so much thank you so much for just keeping the channel alive, asking questions, and motivating me to like keep dropping down new videos every week like I always try to do. So in front of me I got an email which is looking interesting. I got it a few days ago. Actually, I just screenshotted it and I thought, you know what, this is a challenge, let me do this. I haven't actually done this email before. I haven't coded it. I haven't done mathematical thinking behind it, like how should I space out things. So I mean, this is what also you should be doing as an email developer. You're on this journey, or you're on this channel to learn, to grow your skills, so that when you get employed and you get hired, basically you can just off the bat, they ask you, can you code this? You'll be like, yeah, I can do this. So this is what this channel is about. And shout out to everybody that's got the course. Most people just come through like the either email me direct, like how do you do this? Like the last time somebody was asking me how do you do, like they were saying basically I struggle with like nesting. So I sent them a link to the video that I done before, I think it's a couple videos back, which was about nesting. Nesting is essentially when you're trying to do the tricky stuff. That's when you do nesting. When you're trying to do just simple stuff, like just put in a bit of text, like I said before, that's when you just don't use nesting. But when you're nesting, it's because the layout is going to be tricky. Okay? So when I'm doing this email today, clearly you're going to see me nest. And the reason why I'm nesting is because the layout is tricky. That's the reason why. So once you grasp that concept, like, is this, what I'm trying to code, is it tricky or not? That's when okay, let me nest, because the reason why I'm nesting is because I'm trying to make it easy for myself to control the template, how it's going to look on mobile. I sort of have like the TDs and, the tables, those elements that I've added in on the nest. Those elements, basically what they're doing is, those are things that I can manipulate and control. Whereas if I don't nest, I have nothing to, say I'm going to use this and nest to control the layout. So that's why nesting is done. And nesting is always done because you're actually trying to do some complicated stuff. You also have to remember that nesting basically is important because you're catering for many email clients. All right. So if you're catering for many email clients, there's bound to be a Samsung, an iPhone, an Android device, basically something out there in Outlook 2007 that's not going to like how your email is rendering or how your email is laid out. So nesting kind of prevents that. So this is why I nest. And if you really don't even buy the course at all and you just put your mind to watching the nesting video, you will learn a lot. Of course, the course helps you because it breaks it down from the start to the finish, which I don't normally do on the YouTube videos because I'm trying to just drop germs to like help people literally just know what's going on within like the whole email when you're building. But so you can still watch the videos on YouTube. Trust me, you benefit a lot. So that's why I always, pump videos on YouTube. Why wouldn't I? But yeah, so without wasting much time, I didn't want to make this about nesting because I've previously done it, but somebody was asking me about it. Obviously, they also asked me about inline styling. So the question was kind of like, I wish I had a screenshot. So basically, I just thought this off the top of my head and it's in my email. So the question basically was, I struggle with inline styling. I don't know where to do inline styling. And my reply was kind of like, I was going to do a video regarding inline styling. And then I went back and I replied to say, you know what? Inline styling is important, but because you're still a beginner, I'd rather you learn more about nesting and all these other things, so that once you know about nesting, then you can figure out about inline styling. Because inline styling is easy. It's literally like you don't even have to think about it. Once you know nesting and all this layout stuff, inline styling is they actually generate us out online. where you basically can just throw your code in and then just hit generate, and then it just does inline styling for you. That's if you're lazy, but inline styling is not difficult. Okay, I will cover it, and I understand you struggle with it, but I'd rather you learn nesting and you watch the other videos that I've done just to understand what makes an email, you know? So without wasting too much time, like I've already done, I'd like you to take one moment to just hit the like button, please. That helps the channel. And also to subscribe if you haven't. And drop me a comment on your thoughts and your questions. That helps as well. So this email that I have in front of me, like I said, I got a few days ago. It's pretty nice. I liked the contrast within the colors. You got the white background. Let me just get my Wacom tablet here and just get push B. Maybe if I click that, that'll become more active. Make the brush smaller by hitting the arrow key. So the brush is actually got no hardness. I'm gonna make it very hard so that it's not feathered. Make the brush a little bit small. So yeah, so that one, all right, you kind of get that. Okay, so basically I can even make it smaller and zoom in. Push Z. So yeah, basically what I liked about this email was the contrast, like I said. So if I hit B, you can see things like the white background. Okay, the white background was very nice for me. This color, the pink color that they've got, which is very contrasty, which goes with their brand. I can tell their logo's got a little bit of that pink. You know, these nice subtle tones, okay? These blues, okay? So yeah, it's very nice, and they actually incorporated that blue into this little dotted thing that separates sections as well, which is pretty nice. You can use an image for that. And then the button was a nice solid contrasty color, which is matching the color of the text as well. So yeah, the button was very nice, very bold to say if you want to learn, click here. And then a contrasty from the button was another version of their button, which is this color. So everything has got a sort of theme around it, you know. They just didn't come up with like, let's make the button pink, let's just make this button blue. You know, they thought about it. Like, you can look, their logo here has got that blue, so they used that blue here, and then they've got like a shade of pink, and they use that as well in the button as well as their tiles. So this is something that you have to kind of work out and think about when you're building emails. Not necessarily when you're building emails, more like when you are, let's just write down, designing. Yeah, so when you're designing emails, definitely you're definitely gonna need to kind of think about exactly everything that I've said. Okay, but if you're coding it, like basically you're working for a company, somebody has already designed like the email, and what they've done is they've just given you a PSD of the email, and so basically all you have to do is code it. All right, so you don't really need to worry about that. You just have to need to know the proportions, the numbers behind the elements as they've been designed, so that you get what they call pixel perfect in your inbox. Whoa, sorry, pixel perfect in your coding. Yeah, okay. Well, pixel perfect in your inbox as well, as in when you actually push send and then people receive the email and then it's pixel perfect. So yeah, but yeah, all right. So that's that. So what's the challenges when you receive this this thing? All right. So you got your campaign manager. Okay. Campaign manager comes to you and says, okay, I've got an email you need to build. And it looks like this. You're like, oh, great. No problems. Right. And surely no problems, because, you know, this channel makes you so incredibly great at building any layout. So yeah, great. So yeah, you get this design and then you're like, okay, so the first thing you need to do is, okay, the first thing which I need to tell you guys is, okay, this is the whole layout, but I'm focusing on the mostly tricky parts. So the tricky parts for beginners would be this bit here. I'm gonna try to draw a straight line. Straight line. Apparently, if you do it slowly, it tends to come out better. Well, apparently if you do dot and you do shift and dot, that creates a straight line. Didn't know that. So okay, so that's clearly wrong. Okay, let's try again. So dot and you hold shift and you click another dot. Ooh, look at that. And if I click dot there and I click dot down here, another one. And if I click dot here, ooh, that wasn't a dot. Dot there, dot here. You kind of get the deal. And then another dot and another dot there. So, I completely lost that line at the bottom. All right, let's do image, edit, redo. All right, so we get our line back, and just for the sake of just going all around here, it doesn't matter. All right, cool. So we got this this box that we have here. That's what we're gonna actually focus on designing. Okay, so yeah, emphasis is gonna be on here. So let's just change a different color here. Let's just say something like a green this time around. So if I come in here, the first thing you need to think about is I got 3 boxes. So the question is, what is the gap between here and here? Okay, that's the first question. Like, what's the gap? What's the size of that gap? Because if you don't know the size of that gap, surely how you gonna handle it in Dreamweaver? And then you look at the, ooh, okay, sorry. See, sometimes it's more better when you zoom in. That's why I zoom in. Or you can do dot and then shift dot, dot, shift dot, and then dot, shift dot. I guess that's kind of like, yeah, another way of getting those better straight lines. All right, so yeah, and you're like, what's the gap between that? And so basically, I can come here and say, make the brush smaller and say maybe it's actually before I say maybe, let's see. Okay, 20 pixels, because I just had a quick look. 20 pixels. Okay. All right, so this is just me just visually eyeing, but you can push M on the keyboard if you're in Photoshop and just do like a quick marquee selection and be like seeing the width proportion, spacebar just to rejig it a little bit. So you can see, I can say it's about 44, but normally I can give it 40. But because this is like double, the design is literally double the size, so that it's retina. Retina meaning like it's pixel sharp, it's not blurry when I export the images. So that's why it's 40 there. So half of 40 would be 20. So at least the 20 would be what I would expect that number to be. Okay. Also, you have to question like the gap between here, like I always tell you guys. So if I make the brush size a bit big, tap there and tap there, you can tell I'm holding shift because my line's a bit straight now. Dot, dot. Not bad. Okay, so there you go. So what, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. Okay, right. If I move, oh, actually, if I push that, make it black. And then say, what's this number? Maybe it's 30 pixels. Okay. Okay, there you go. So, you know, me being in email so much, I can just roughly figure out, okay, that's 30 pixels, that's cool. Or if you wanted, you can make that 20 pixels and then 20 pixels here, 20 pixels there as well, which kind of balance. So yeah, or you can do 30 pixels there. That's cool. So yeah, essentially you want the same thing going. What's the other thing I can do here? I can copy this, Command C, Command V. Hey, undo. Maybe new layer, Command V, Command T. All right, just put it down here. So yeah, you can, ooh, okay, Z key maybe somebody. All right, so you can tell I'm working out the numbers because the numbers essentially are what's gonna help us in the future. So if I come here, marquee tool, this is gonna be crazy. Anyway, leave that out. So yeah, you got 20 here, you got your numbers here, and then what's the other thing that you have to think about? You also have to, critically important, obviously, is the size. Maybe I can use the box tool here. The size of this, just holding space to see if I can get the edge. The size of this box here. My snap is not on, that's why. So yeah, what's the size of that box? So you can see here, we got some 385, you know, again, it's retina, so, you know, don't pay too much to that. But yeah, so yeah, you got to think about what's the size of this image, okay? Also, you have to think about what's the size of this. Oh, let me get B. Maybe get another layer. And then you have to think what's the, for this text, you have to ask yourself, what's the font size? I'm sorry it's blurry, I know. What's the font size? And also you have to, maybe if I make the brush big, what's the font size? What's the line height? Okay, what other things you have? This is the when it comes to inline styling now. These are your inline styles. What's the font size of the text? What's the line height? So font size is going to be what controls the size of the text, right? And then line height is going to be what controls the spacing above the text. So here and here, here and here. So line height basically pushes. So if we had two, if we had another sentence here, right, the line height is basically pushing, right? Okay, if we're at another sentence, so the line height is pushing this sentence from this sentence and that kind of vibe. So if you reduce the line height, that means this line here would start to push up and these will be so close. So that's your line height, okay? So undo a few times, get rid of that. So you got font size. What's your font size? This is the questions, yeah? Before you even go into coding. What's the line height? Oh, okay. And also you got to think about the button itself, this button here, okay? Like, what's the button size, okay? Okay, it's got this color. What's the, yeah, get rid of the selection. Like, what's this color? You know, you have to color pick that color. Yeah. Ooh, I keep doing some interesting arrows here. What's the color of this button, right? And also what's the color of the text? Okay, so obviously it's white, we can all see that. And what's the color of the button? It's a pink shade, but what exactly pink shade? In Photoshop you can just push I and click, and then the color comes on. If I double click, then that's the color that we'll need to color pick later. So these are important questions. You can't just get a design and just jump into coding, okay? You have to ask yourself the questions. And these questions essentially are what gives you a good design. That being said, let's try to code it. Why not? So let's go into Dreamweaver quickly. I've got a blank slate waiting for us. Boom. All right. So like I'll put the pen down, just use the mouse and the keyboard here for typing the code. So yeah, basically you can see we got a blank slate. We got the body waiting for us to put in the tables and, you know, the nesting and the inline styling so that we get the same layout as we have in Photoshop. So to begin with, I'm gonna put in T. Guys, this is so much in the course. I don't want to bore people because I know one or two people will be like, oh, here we go again, rehashing this stuff. All right, so okay, let me just speed past. Okay, maybe one more tab, and then if I do 600 for a number here, okay. So this is not gonna be responsive, by the way. I'm just leaning to show the concept of what we're trying to mimic, which is in Photoshop, align center, like we always do this. So essentially what we have is so if I copy this, and we have B, C, I need to push this back, but maybe push it space bar just so that it lines up. My eyes don't like things that don't line up. All right, so we got 3 A's in there, but we wanted to do B and C so that you kind of get the idea. Oh, not V here, but C. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I could have done 1, 2, 3. So let me refresh so that it centers. Okay, kind of centered in there. I can see some sort of something happening. That's fine by me. So what else do we need? Let's go back to Photoshop, guys. Right, so back in Photoshop, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3. That's why I labeled them A, B, C, because those TDs are actually going to hold all these things. So this will be holding A, this will be holding B, this will be holding C. Got it? Great. So one other important thing that I have to stress now, if you haven't watched the nesting video, I'm not even gonna put it up in you know how people do on YouTube, like it's in the cards and go and click here and stuff. It's on the channel. Don't be lazy, please. Just find it and it'll help you a lot, trust me. So yeah, this is complex, like I said, so I will need to nest because I need to have the image and the text and the button. So nesting is definitely a must here. Okay, so with that, I'm not going to use, let me just take off this. I'm not going to use this 3 images because I haven't hosted them like I always do pre the tutorial. I'm sorry. I'm just going to use some sort of hosted online tricky stuff. Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna do this. So let's get started. So I need to go back to Dreamweaver and then A. Now watch me nest. Now watch me nay. All right, so I'll push a nest here to nest the table. Okay, and then this table I'm gonna have, let me just break it down so that you don't get too far lost. Not that you get lost, because I know people on this channel are well advanced now. We really flowing in sync. So you got this bit here, which is going to be the image. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And then that's going to be the image. And then if I copy the whole row, okay, not the TD, but the row. That's why we nest in, so that we can have the powers of rows. Okay, so now we seem like we got something which says 3 images here if you look at the left, top left. But basically that's going to be the image, that's going to be the heading text. And then under the heading text is going to be the button. So I really hope I've answered you like, oh, H, why do we nest? This is it. We're nesting because, you know, this thing is complex. It's not easy. Right, haven't done that. Let's put an image in there. Source, like I said, I'm not going to use the actual images. http://via dot, what's the website code? via.placeholder.com/, and then / becomes the number of the pixels. So because I have a width of 600 up here, what I'm going to do is, so I have a width of 600 and I'm going to divide 600 by 3, which should give me which should give me 200, sorry. Let me go back to Photoshop so that you see what I'm trying to work out in my head. So we got 600 from if I get, I always feel like if I illustrate it's much easier, but I don't know how far that, how true that is. So from this edge to this edge, that's what I'm saying is 600. So yeah, draw a line. So that's gonna be 600. So if that width is 600, I need to know what 600 divided by 3 is so that I can cater for these 3 sections. So that's why I said 200. And then when it's 200, I also have to factor in there's this little gap in between. And then that gap we know as 20. So we are gonna say, let's take out another 20 here. So now we're saying we're saying 600 minus the 20 and the 20, so 600 minus 40 is equal to 560, and then 560 divided by 3, 1, 2. This gets messy. I'm sorry. They built calculators for a reason. 560 divided by 3 equals to 186. All right. Yeah, let's just do 186. 186. Okay. Great. So my boxes are essentially going to be a width of 186. Got that? Right. Let's see how we do here. Go back to Dreamweaver. And so when it comes to the pixels, I'm going to go 186. Okay. And that's how that image pops in, right? And you can do 186 by 140 if you wanted, just to be so that's not so tall. Okay. And obviously within the image tag, you can do the things of saying width, if I type it correctly, equals, so the width is equal to 186, and the height, I won't put it, or I can just say height equals 140, since we've already thought about it. And what else? Oh yeah, what else I can do is I can do and text equals image here. Ooh, I'll do plus here. How's it look? Image here. Okay. All right, so that's that part, and you can say alt text here. Okay, cool. All right, so we got that in there. That's great. Kind of making a little progress, which is nice. Let's see what else we can do. Is we've got the image tag. Now we need the heading tag, which we can just leave that text really as saying heading tag. Just put inline styling. So the question of like, I don't know when to inline style. I hope this kind of covers it, because you can see I've gone to the TD, which is contained in the text, and then in there, that's when I do style equals, right? And I say style equals font size. Remember what we were talking about in Dreamweaver? So font size would be equal to, let's just say 24 pixels. And then we'll do line height. Line height is equal to 30. Okay. And then you can do all those other things like font family. Yeah, the whole thing. You could do it. That's great. But also you can do color. Color, £sign. Let's go to Photoshop and find out what the color actually, you know what? I'm going to sample the color of the button. There you go. Because it's pretty much the same thing. Color theme. And then the color here, if I paste, you can see the color takes shape on this button. It's no longer black. It's just a darker blue shade, which goes with the theme. And you know what? I can do the same here just to carry on with the theme. Why not? So I can do / that color / 123 123, just to give us white. And just so that the image is not blurry, I can say 186 times 2. I'm on the calculator. Okay, 372. So here I'll do 372. 140 times 2 to 280. You know, and the text will look sharper here. You can say it's the image here. So the same concept is why you save double the size of images, so that they're sharper, you know. However, having done that, we are moving on steadily to go back to Photoshop. Okay. So the button, again, it's not easy doing buttons because there's so many ways of doing it, but I prefer the easy way of doing it. because the easy way of doing it is great. So the button in my case would have to be, think about it, it's within a box which is 186. So I'm gonna go 140. Okay, let's see how big 140 is. And I can give it a BG color, but I need to get the color from Photoshop. So if I hit I, copy that color and come back to Dreamweaver, and then in here I can do BG color, £, paste. Let me get our color. I'm gonna do style, border, radius. What's the border radius on this little bad boy? I can say the border radius is about, I forgot, I didn't even look. Let's just did 10 pixels. Okay. And then in there you have to put the text which says click me or is that a lot of text? Kind of works. Or alternative to find out more would be more info. Okay. Which is kind of less text. Or you can even say buy now. Why not? Let's go with that. Buy now. How about that? So that people can actually purchase whatever you're selling, so that you can make a lot of money. That's the goal, right? So in there, because you can tell the color of the button is black, what I need to do for a style in there, and say style equals color, £, 1 2 3 1 2 3. So I add my F's like 1 2 3 1 2 3. You can even put text align center, text align center. You know, that pushes text in the center. What else do we need? Here we need to do align center, so that the button itself pushes to the center. But the button is acting kind of wild right now, because out here we have a whole table, and this TD needs to have a value width of 186. 186. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we kind of see how he pushed back in there. What else? What else we need is this text. You can see it's flushing to the left. We need to flush it to the center. So we do align center there. Ooh, we got something. And the text needs to kind of push away that 30 pixels I was talking about in Photoshop. So we come in here and we can do, in the middle bit, we can do padding top, which is going to be, let's try 20. Left and right 0. That is a lot. Let's try 10. Yeah, 10 is all right. You know, kind of contains its, kind of keeps it together nicely. This button needs a bit more work in terms of at the top and at the bottom. So what I can do here is pad in. Do the same technique, to be fair. Top and bottom 10 pixels, let's see. But I don't need it left and right. Okay, we got something. We got something, folks. We got something. So if I go back to Photoshop, hide this layer full of doodles, you can see that the button is there, but the button, what I'm noticing is that the corner radius is a lot smaller than 10. So if I go into Dreamweaver to try to match that number, so I click on the image, you can see that there's a bigger radius here. And obviously campaign manager is going to come and say, why is the button has got so much radius on it? And be like, sorry, I can fix it like this. Let's put 3 to start with. See how that looks. Ooh, okay. Bit more, 5. Yeah, me personally, I'm okay with that, but is it matching? Let's go back to Photoshop. Yeah, 4, 5, it's cool. But yeah, just so that we don't get told off here by the campaign manager. Just stick to 4. Boom. All right. So yeah, got it. And obviously this buy now is a link. So what do? You make it into a link so that when they hover over the text, actually it becomes clickable. Target blank, so that opens in a new tab. And again, the white color goes away. So we need to put style on the actual link. Style color. What's the color? It's going to be £. 6 F's. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I count them in 2s, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then to get rid of the underlines, text decoration, text decoration none. Okay, boom. And we're back. And sometimes for the button, you want it to stand out a little bit. So you might want the button text to be bold. So you can do font weight bold. And then it kind of looks like that. If you don't like it, you can take it off. Okay. And we're done. Literally, we're done with this bit. So we got let's go back to Photoshop. So we've done the first bit. Great. Now we need to do this and this. So this is how easy emails are. Because we've built the first one, all we need to do is, guess what? You see this one we say 186? If I just click the TR, collapse it, click it, copy, guess what I can do? Okay, hang on a second. Something went wrong here. And 186. Ooh, I actually need to copy this bit. All right, and then that replaces this. Actually, I'll leave that one in there, saying B, and I'll paste it here. Minimize that, and I'll paste the other one underneath. You'll see why in a moment. All right, and there you go. So my B and C becomes the 20 pixel space. But instead of saying B, because I don't want the B to show up here as the spacer, I'll do something invisible, which is like ASCII code, which is N non-breaking space. That's what NBSP stands for. And then I'll come in here and say width equals 20. Oh, don't need the pixels. All right, so we do the same thing here, and we put it across here. Boom. Now guess what? You just killed it. You've just done it. Literally, you've built the email just like these guys do. You know, using your own spice and your own techniques. You know, enjoy. I mean, again, you know what it is? This is how you get inspiration, because inspiration of being an email developer or graphic designer, sometimes you have to go into Google and find out how people are designing their graphics, and you say, oh, I like this element. So then you take that element and use it in your own work. It's not like you're copying, but it's like you're getting inspiration and you're actually doing it yourself. This is similar to what we've done. So if we like what we've seen, we go and do it ourselves. So I got inspiration for this email. I say, oh, I like the color schemes, whatever they've put together and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how you learn and you grow. So this is my homework to you. Keep coding, keep looking out for emails that land in your inbox. Try to challenge yourself to see if you can code them. I mean, even if the email breaks totally and you're rubbish at it, just keep pushing and keep watching videos on this channel, because the more you watch, the more you add it and the more you're going to grow your skill. In no time, you're going to be good. So yeah, trust me, that was a little tip that I think is very valuable. Okay. So we've done it again. We've literally killed it. Yeah, we've done it. I don't think there's anything else I need to do here, because that's pretty much it. Unless if I wanted to make it responsive, but this is not a responsive video, guys. Yeah, I've done other responsive videos on here in the course. Yeah, you got the responsive section covered. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I hope you found this interesting and helpful. There's always going to be one little thing that you pick from every video that I put out, and that's why I love it, because you know, you learn so much. Maybe in the next video I'll make this you know what, I probably won't, but yeah. So again, I hope you've learned something new, And I hope you keep brushing on your skills, and I hope you keep improving. And yeah, shout out to yourself. And if you've liked this video, obviously smash the like button. Like. Okay, so yeah, enough of that. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace. Thanks for watching to the end. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. It really helps. Thanks.